news for the state of Tennessee in 10 minutes. Tennessee in 10 is made possible by Tennessee Department of Labor and Workforce Development.
Thanks for joining us for Tennessee in 10. I am Danielle Ledbetter. We begin in West Tennessee, where a search is underway for gunmen after 4 children were injured in a shooting.
4 children were shot inside a home in Hickory Hill. Take a look at your screen. These are pictures released by Memphis of some of the suspects. Memphis police say the shooting happened just before 10 p.m. Sunday night on Rosewind Circle near Crump and East Rains. Officers found a 3-year-old, a 6-year-old, and 2 15-year-olds all shot. The 3-year-old is in non-critical. The 6-year-old was released from the hospital, but the 2 teens are still critical.
A Clarksville coach is under investigation after being kicked out of a football game. This came to a head Friday night during Northwest High's game. The school says the assistant coach, Trey Campbell, was kicked out after someone complained about him pushing his religion on other players. Some students and parents argue he did nothing wrong. We talked to a senior who was at the game, and she says Campbell was holding his Bible when he prayed with students, but was later walked out with an officer in tears.
He was called over by our principals, and they told him that if he did not put his Bible down, then he had to leave. And it wasn't even like a group prayer. It was like individuals coming up to him, which I think that's being misinterpreted, like he was leading a group prayer, which he's not.
A parent told us her son says he never felt pushed in any direction when it came to religion. The school says someone complained that the coach might be trying to convert others or spread religious beliefs. It is a constitutional violation for public school staff to require prayer, but they can join students in prayer if it's voluntary.
A man walking his 2 kids early Sunday morning was robbed at gunpoint. That's according to Memphis police. Happened around 3 in the morning near Overton Crossing and Whitney Avenue. Investigators say 6 men wearing a mask pulled up in a black car. They say the 2 then pulled out guns, demanded his phone and cash, and even pushed one child to the ground. If you know anything, call Crime Stoppers. That number, 901-528-CASH.
Suicide is now the 3rd leading cause of death for Tennesseans aged between 10 and 17. And now there is a new way for teens to get help during a mental health crisis. The 988 Lifeline. It's been around for 3 years, but state health officials say they are now seeing a rise in teen suicides. That's why they are launching a new text line for teens. Contact Careline helps train counselors who answer the 988 calls. They say this new text line will help teens get more comfortable with reaching out for help without hearing the word crisis.
We've had a concern about our youth, I think, as everybody has. COVID, even though it feels a long way away, it still has some ripple effects in our society today. And we just want to make sure there's plenty of resources for people to connect and find help when they need it.
Health officials say they will work with schools to make sure students have access to Teen Line.
A Memphis woman is charged with aggravated animal abuse after authorities say she neglected to feed her 2 dogs for months. Records show the dogs were found severely malnourished and unable to walk properly. Investigators say Courtney Young admitted she stopped caring for the pets due to allergies, leaving them in kennels and relying on her husband to feed them. She's out on a $1,500 bond and due in court later today. From the WMC Action News 5 newsroom in Memphis, I'm Taylor Tucker. Back to you.
Well, bear rescues in Tennessee will soon have a new and safe place to call home. There's a lot of work happening in the Appalachian Bear Rescue so that they can once again welcome in rescued wildlife. Their new deal with the TWRA requires more space for the bears, but they needed to raise hundreds of thousands of dollars to build the new enclosures. The agency says thanks to the community rushing to donate, they have been able to quickly get dirt moved to build the new pens for the rescued animals. It could also give them the ability to bring in more bears in the future.
A typical year, we really only have about 15 bears come through in an average year at ABR. Some years are 10, 12, and then there's occasionally those years that bump you up above 20. So we want to keep on building another one beyond this one to make sure we have that capacity for those really big years.
As for when bears could come back to ABR, it's still up in the air. There's optimism could happen in a couple of months, but the ABR says it is unlikely that it will happen before winter time. Well, Tennessee is getting millions of dollars to help improve affordable housing options in the volunteer state. Officials say the $25 million in funding will help pay for the rehabilitation of close to 1,000 affordable housing units across the state. This will help fund 3 affordable housing projects in Davidson County and 1 in Rutherford and in Montgomery counties. All right, let's check in on your First Alert forecast with our First Alert meteorologist, Stefano DiPietro. Good morning.
Good morning, Danielle. The heat building back into the state over the next couple of days here. I mean, just take a look at the temperature trend for about the next 7 days. We'll stay mostly in the 80s today and into tomorrow, then start to see more 90s, low to mid 90s late this week and heading into the weekend. But it doesn't come with terrible humidity. And that's really the big thing I want to focus on, is that we are not with your muggy meter up into this very humid or overly oppressive category. That's not the case for this. It is going to be humid and you are going to notice it, but it's not going to be terrible. And the forecast is going to stay pretty quiet for us as well, with good sunshine today. And then we may toss in a very isolated rain shower at some point Wednesday and Thursday, but most of the state is going to end up staying dry. And this kind of weather pattern just sticks with us all the way through the rest of this week and even heading into the upcoming weekend. And there will be more heat as well, Danielle.
All right, thanks, Stefano. The start of the fall season is just 2 weeks away, and if you are looking for the best place to check out fall foliage, 2 Tennessee destinations are ranked among the top spots in the U.S. They are Roan Mountain and Gatlinburg. No surprise there. The state health department is revealing the healthiest schools in the state, and none of them are in Davidson, Williamson, Sumner, or Rutherford counties. Most of the schools are in Memphis and Hartsville. Robert E. Lee Elementary School was dubbed the healthiest school in the state. That's in Tullahoma. The school got points in all 9 categories, including school health services, family and community engagement, physical activity, and nutrition and food access. Well, it appears there may be a new and very famous Tennessee Vols fan. Tennessee Speaker of the House Cameron Sexton recently took a trip to the Vatican and got to meet and speak with the Pope. There, Sexton gifted Pope Leo a personalized Tennessee football jersey. It contains the number 14 and spells out Pope Leo on the back. Well, thanks.